Hello, WSGL. This is your friend, Charlie, aka Chuck Colorado, coming to you with another settlement build in Fallout 4. This settlement build is Jamaica Plains, and I'm coming in on the, let's see, the southeast side of Jamaica Plains right now. And I'm about to walk up there in a second, and I'm with my trusty companion Piper. Say hello to the people, Piper. Oh, she's walking away from me now. There she is. Oh, doesn't want her personal shot. It's okay. So I was struggling with this build because I tried to basically put an entire cement wall around it. As you'll see when we walk up, Jamaica Plains is basically built. The settlement is pretty tight, and it's a couple streets and some houses. You can only enter one of the houses, and the house is kind of blown out on the side, and there's a kind of an open courtyard area. So as you see, let's see, where are the boundaries of the settlement? Okay, they're not showing up right now. Oh, it's because there are no boundaries, but the boundaries kind of come along this wall right here. And this house is not in the settlement, and they kind of around the street corner over here, and then they lead into this is kind of where they cut off over here on this side. So this this little open parking lot area is part of the settlement. This house that you can't enter is part of the settlement. That house is part of the settlement. So I was building these cement walls. I was kind of building them on the border, which is kind of like right here. I was building cement walls on the border, and this would have been my entranceway. And I just felt really, really out of place, and it didn't look natural. And one of the things that I'm trying to accomplish with these settlement builds is to have it look natural, and like people are actually living there, and like not like a bot or a human being or a person just put in these walls kind of out of nowhere. I want it to look authentic. So I took all those walls down. I had a bunch of walls built up, and I decided to come up with a theme to the settlement build that would make it make sense. And I'll tell you what that theme is. So as you can see on this side of the settlement, which is the kind of the west side here, there's really nothing. So it doesn't look like anyone is living here. I mean, yeah, there's a water pump, but that could be from anyone. You don't see a whole lot. This house you can't enter, but then you see off in the distance, okay, there's some machine guns. So let's go check out over here. If I were a raider, I would be like, okay, there's machine guns. There's probably people here, so I'm gonna go attack these machine guns. And you come down here, and there's some defenses. There's a Brahmin. There is water pump. There is, this house has been boarded up, so it doesn't look like anyone's living there. You have a Minuteman. I dressed my Minuteman in either Minuteman clothes, or I dressed them in gunner clothes, because they still look very militarian, if you will. I don't even know if that's a word, but they look like they're part of the Minuteman military still. So this guy's, he's got his rifle. This guy's a Minuteman soldier, and he's guarding what looks like to be a little outpost right here. So this outpost is guarded by like I said, the Minuteman and the railroad are working together, right? Remember that. That's the theme of this, theme of most of my builds, or potentially all in the future. So here's the Minuteman. They have their own little carrot garden right here in the rubble, which is probably not sanitary. And some baskets to carry around carrots in. They have more defenses out here, more turrets, a water pump, and just, a cooking station, some tents, and some sleeping bags. It's very ramshackled, very kind of thrown together last minute. Doesn't look, there's not a, there's no walls protecting them. It's basically just turrets and people, and that's their defenses. And it's only, oh, it looks like there's a person up there. That person glitched up there. They're not supposed to be up there. And yeah, it's it's, you know, if a raider were to stumble upon this, they would think, okay, this is just some Minuteman camping out or some militia camping out, and it's really not a huge deal. We'll take them out, and you know, you have a raider Minuteman scuffle right here. So what this acts as, though, this little kind of thrown together camp, it acts as a decoy. It's not supposed to be guarding anything. It's not supposed to come off looking as if it's guarding anything. It's just supposed to come off as some Minuteman made camp in this little blown out house with their little canopy, and this is where they're staying for now. So that's why this is here. But it also serves as a distraction, and it serves as a distraction to what's actually inside of this house. And the only way to get into the house right now is to basically glitch through a wall, which I'm going to do because it's pretty locked up. It's pretty locked tight. So I'm going to glitch through. There we go. And inside this house, and here's the other door, that's other side that's boarded up. Inside this house are Minutemen and a living area, and they're guarding VIP synths. So, as you know, when a synth was escaping from the Institute, they were basically on the run. They were basically fugitives on the run. Institute coursers would try to bring these runaway synths back to the Institute so they could be reprogrammed. Because once a synth got smart enough to realize, okay, I want my freedom, they would run away. And then the Railroad were the group that was liberating the synths. So, although in my story, the Brotherhood of Steel and the Institute have both been destroyed, there are still remnants and squadrons that weren't destroyed in the huge explosions that happened out here hunting synths. They still believe that they can rebuild the Brotherhood. They still believe they can rebuild the Institute. And they're out here hunting synths. So we have taken 2 VIP synths, and we have put them in this little, what I call kind of a VIP synth safe house. And that's kind of the theme of this build. And it's protected by the Minutemen. So the outpost outside is basically meant to be protection as well, but also kind of be the decoy for when raiders or, let's say, a bear or anything else kind of comes along. It just looks like there's a camp there, but really on the inside of this house, there's even more people, and they're guarding the very important synths. So I'm going to kind of take you through. This is the door this is how people get out. So there's a little switch right here. You can flick it, and then the turret, this is a shotgun turret, so this starts. So if anyone were to come in while the door is open, they would get a shotgun to the kneecap. And this is the door that leads out onto the side that we started on with a blown out house. So let's go back in here and let's close this off. We have a Minuteman guard, standing guard right here. We have some supplies. We have this is the one stall, basically. I thought I put a back door on it. Oh, it looks like you can open it from this side as well. So I think this person opened it. There we go. Just kind of glitched them into the wall. But yeah, there's a sink and there's a stall with not a lot of privacy. But that's all we could really manage in this safe house. Your generator. More locker with food on it. Your refrigerator with lots of food. Your table for eating right here. Typewriter to send out messages. To let the Minutemen know that the safe house is all clear, or they're receiving incoming messages of new VIP synths coming to the safe house to live here until things quiet down more. And then we'll go upstairs. Your cooking station basically is your nice stove, nice pre-war stove. Don't know how that got here, untouched, but we'll go up here, and you'll see. It looks like the VIP synths are... Oh, there's one synth here, and then the other person you saw on the roof earlier is the other synth. She glitched. She's on the roof right now. She glitched through. But here is where, with the help of some sunlight and these lamps, this is where basically the Safehouse is growing their food. They have, I mean, they can get carrots from the outside as well, but they have their own food supply in here, you know, that they're watering with their pitcher. And this is how they maintain a living without having to go in and out of the safe house. Obviously, this safe house door only opens on special occasions, and it doesn't open very often, and only when the coast is clear. So they have to make their own food as well. We got some, you know, some purified water here, a sleeping bag. Here's another Minuteman guard.
How are you?
I'm good. So that's Minuteman protecting these VIP synths. You have another turret here. You have the railroad and the Minuteman flag working together in unison. And then, yeah, this is the living quarters of the living area. You know, there's not a lot to do in here, so you see magazines scattered throughout the place and holotapes because they need to find something to do while kind of just sitting and camping out in the safe house. Got a medical kit, an alarm clock. And this is basically where they're living. Over here we got some magazines and some board games and things like that. A model kit, because they got to find time to they got to find something to do with their time. So they're either, you know, they're basically trying to stay silent and stay under wraps. So they're either planting and gardening, or they're playing a board game at night. But basically they're just hiding out here because although some of the war is over, it's not completely over. You know, and they're very important synths. They're very important people. We want to keep them safe. The Minuteman ones have sworn to keep railroad synths and escape synths safe, and that's what they're going to do. And so this Minuteman might have just got startled by something. I don't know why she did that. As you can see, she's got her laser musket ready, though. And this has been boarded up as well. So this was completely open. So we boarded up the two doors at the bottom, and then we boarded up this hole in the wall here. And if you go out here, it overlooks the kind of the decoy camp that's out there with the Minutemen. So we won't go out there, but yeah, it's, you know, less is more in this case, and I figured this is a really simple idea and a simple build, and it makes sense with the storyline of the railroad and the Minutemen working together. I don't have to build these huge concrete walls. I can just use what the settlement has given me, and the settlement has given me this house, and with the help of like kind of these wood planks, I believe that came in with a mod or DLC, I'm able to kind of board up the doors. Get back in there. I wanted to use the ability to kind of hook up a switch to something. So this door is attached to this plank of wood, and this plank of wood, it has a little wire attachment that's kind of sticking through the wall here, and oh no, it's sticking to the wall here, excuse me, I believe so. Oh no, it's right here. But because the generator is hooked up to the switch, and then the switch is hooked up to this little prong, which is attached to this piece of wood and the door, that's when makes me, so when I throw the switch, it activates this door and it opens up. So I wanted to kind of take advantage of that. And you see, it's not like completely flush against the so you can see that's where the prong sticks through. It's not completely flush against the wall, but I think it looks good enough, convincing enough, and that's what I wanted the settlements build to be, just convincing. So we're gonna close it up. Oh, what did I do? Did I shut off the generator? Oh, I shut off the generator in accident. I didn't mean to do that. That's cool. I didn't know I could do that. Okay. Yeah, but this is the settlement build for Jamaica Plains. It's the VIP synth safe house, and the Minutemen are helping protect runaway synths who are still not safe yet, who maybe properly haven't been trained on how to combat themselves and survive in the wildlife. And it's two factions working together. This guy continues to open the door, and he closed that up. Yeah, that's all it is. So thank you for listening to me ramble. And this is a much shorter settlement build than Murkwater construction site, and I thought it fit the theme of what I'm trying to go for. So thanks for your time, and take care. Bye.